day, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Saturday. Cheers, everybody. So, I've been dicking around my studio a bit, looking at stuff. And for those of you who have been following me for a long time, you know that I make, or have made, and plan to make more cigar box guitars in my time. And so I fixed one up this morning, and I just wanted to show it to you. I've done videos about this instrument before, but I just wanted to show all the new people about what a cigar box guitar is all about. And so this is it. There you go. And this was made January 13th, 2017. And got my signature on the back there. And I don't remember. I built this instrument with a lot of intention and in hopes of making my life a little better. And it's built during a very desperate time in my life. Inside of it is a four of hearts card. And the four of hearts card in Hoodoo card readings means stability in your home. So, and stability and basic peace of mind. So anyway, what I built this out of is just an old stick. I put a little bit of laminate on it for I don't know why I did that. The thing about cigar box guitars is there's no rules, and you can make them however you want. The tuning system is free floating. It's all held. There's no screws holding these tuners down. What I did this morning is I swapped out these two tuners because the ones that I had in there were kind of fucked, and I want to start using this instrument again. So yeah, it's got that as a neck, and it just goes through this cigar box that I cut holes in. You can make one of these so easily. It's crazy how easy you can make them. The bridge has this chunk of wood, and I use this big screw to, hold the strings. I got this domino there for good luck, and this door handle makes a nice handrest. So I use this key here as like a nut to hold. You know what it does. You're looking at it. This was a key from an apartment that I had a very tumultuous relationship with a woman in. So I figured I'd use it as the nut, so as to get the bad spirits out of it by playing some good blues. So yeah, that's about it. The way I drilled the sound hole, put in I got this brass thing at the hardware store. You can get them there like a nickel each or 40 cents each. I don't know, whatever. Under 50 cents. And yeah, the hardest part for making cigar box guitars, I also got this copper tube. I like to use these copper tubes when I'm making these because they make a nice sound in my mind. And you have to play it with a slide. It's a non-negotiable slide instrument. But yeah, the hardest part about building these things now is getting the tuning heads for free. Because I try to build, one of my rules about building these is all the stuff has to be free, right? Or free or like minimal cost. I want to build this thing for under $5 kind of thing. So I used to go to when Peterborough had a lot of music stores in it. Now we have one downtown, and it's a big box store. But we used to have a lot of little independent music stores in town, and I used to just go in and say, hey, can I root through your scraps box? And and I'd pick out a bunch of tuners and pieces I could use, and they'd either give it to me for free or charge me like just to say they charged me something for it, like $2 or $5 or something like that. But you can't really do that anymore. So the problem is buying the tuning heads, and it's good to have access to a drill. Yeah, well, you kind of need access to a drill to get the holes in there. When I was married and I lived with my wife, I had a whole workshop for these. I used to make. They used to be really beautiful because I had all kinds of tools to make them with properly. I mostly made 4-string models, but I made a few. Everything. I made 1-string models, 2-string models, 3-string models. I made so many of them. I had a big auction at one of the bars downtown one Sunday afternoon, and I made over $1,000 on like I don't know, a dozen little things like this. Some of them I made would have a little diorama inside the box, so if you ever took the strings off and lifted off the lid, there'd be like a little bird and a little girl or something standing there, or a little tree scene or something, whatever crafty stuff I could find at the dollar store. But yeah, it's not very loud, but and I think I got it tuned how I like it. Crow Jane, don't hang your head so high. One day you know you're gonna die. I'm gonna get me a pistol and 40 rounds of ball. I'm gonna shoot Crow Jane until I watch her fall. Crow Jane, don't hang your head so high. One day you know you're gonna die. Crow Jane, don't hold your head so high. One day you know you're gonna die. I never missed my water until my well ran dry. I never missed Crow Jane until I watched her die. Crow Jane, don't hang your head so high. One day you know you're gonna die. That's what it's all about. It's not very loud, but the first blues album I recorded for Mirkwood Recordings at midnight called The Doctor, I used this guitar mainly. That was my main instrument on that recording. I used my 6-string on a couple songs, but most of the real gritty stuff on it I played on this thing. So, cigar box guitars, and I have a whole bunch of new cigar boxes. Hillary sent me a ton of them, and I have other things too. Like I want to make something out of this. This was given to me years ago when I first started building cigar box guitars, but I got this cookie tin with Elvis on it, so I could make like a real long, skinny thing. I bet you that would sound wicked on metal, and. I also kind of like Danish butter cookies, and they come in a really cool tin. So I can. This is the small tin, but there's a larger one that's like, like that, and make a real cool banjo out of something like that. So, yeah. Anyhow, I just thought I'd bring out an old friend and say, how you doing? To the cigar box guitar I've had for a couple of years now. And yeah, so dig it. I hope you dig it. Thanks to my new subscriber who came in the middle of the night, who I don't know yet. I have yet to get my shout out list together for this week, as I'll likely do it tomorrow. I got a gig tonight with I Am Made of Fire, minus Miles, our drummer, me, Tyler, and Glenn, with all-girl band and Riff Raffy tonight. Now, Riff Raffy, he's an old chef that I know. This guy named Stan, probably the best chef I've ever known, and he he's for years he's played at folk festivals under this character named Riff Raffy, and Riff Raffy sings dirty children's songs. Basically, he takes children's songs and makes them absolutely horrifyingly perverse. So he's always kind of fun to watch. And the headliners are a band called All Girl Band from Peterborough, and they aren't really all girls. They're all girls except for the singer, who's this guy named Mark, who sang with the punk band I played bass in called Joe Buck, and so it's kind of like him doing this kind of stuff he did with Joe Buck on stage with a different band. Like he lights himself on fire and does the human blockhead. He's a trained magician, right? For carnival stuff. He does all kinds of crazy shit. Like staples his pants to his waist. I don't know how he does it, man. But watching him light himself on fire is pretty spectacular. I also got asked. Hillary asked me, "What's with the sold sign in my intro?" And it's just I got a bunch of random clips of stuff around town, and I'm gonna make little intros and outros with them. And I've made one of each, and I've just been lazy. I haven't made the other ones into intro outro videos yet. But anyhow, the fucking amazing things I tell you all. All right. Anyhow, yeah, I just wanted to show off my little cigar box guitar and say happy Saturday. And thanks for all your nice comments. I'll see you later on. Be well.